Good evening and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. On this program, we dissect issues around politics, policy, and governance. I am Hamza Idris, and thank you for joining us tonight. As Nigerians mourn the 17 soldiers killed in Okwama State, Daily Politics, we question the increasing killing of security personnel across the country by non-state actors. Saturday, March 16, 2024, well, keeping mission in the community. President Bola Tinubu described the killing as an attack on the nation and ordered security agencies to arrest the culprits. Speaking during the funeral service of the officers at the National Military Cemetery in Abuja, the president announced that the fallen heroes will be conferred with national honors. On his part, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, vowed to bring the perpetrators to book. The Defense Headquarters had also declared 8 persons wanted over their roles in the alleged killings of the 17 military personnel. Now, the big question is why the increasing killing of security officers in Nigeria, despite sacrificing their lives to defend the nation? You can also add your voice to the conversation through a dedicated phone line, but this should be a little later as the program unfolds. But joining us to dissect the issues here in the studio is Isaac Abrak. He's a hostile environment journalist. And thank you for joining us once again, Isaac.
Thank you for having me, Hamza.
Yes, and then again, condolences over the brutal, killing of our patriots in Delta State and in many other parts of the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Our hearts goes out, to families of these deceased soldiers, and also to the Nigerian military and all security personnel, and also the government, of course, and the CNC. May their soul rest in perfect peace.
Amen. Thank you. Yeah, but before the real conversation commences, let's take some tidbits. The traditional ruler of Ewu, Honorable Kingdom, Clement Ikolo, who was declared wanted by the Nigerian military in connection with the killing of 17 soldiers in Okwama community, has surrendered himself to the Nigerian police in Delta State. He, however, denied any involvement in the incident, emphasizing that he had no part in the deaths of the soldiers.
Government is sufficiently aware of my position. And I am really very surprised and taken aback that my name as the monarch of the kingdom will appear in a list of wanted persons. I have no hands in killings. I have no hands in encouraging anybody to kill anybody. It is against my philosophy as a human being and my faith as a Catholic. It is against it. This is a serious crime against humanity. And I think they need to look at the appropriate places. They need to do a thorough investigation to know all those who have committed this and bring them to book.
And in a sober note, a 49-year-old man treks 9.5 kilometers to collect arms to break his fast. His family also depend on charity to break their fast every day in this holy month of Ramadan. In this report, Hassan Koli tells the story of Amadou Galadima, who treks from his village in Duku local government area of Gombe State for free meals.
Meet Amadou Galadima, a 49-year-old resident of Jerkum. He has called this place home for quite some time now. Every morning, Amadou faces a harsh reality of having nothing to provide for his family's breakfast. With 13 mouths to feed, the pressure weighs heavily on him. Desperate to ensure his loved ones have something to break their fast with during Ramadan, he embarks on a daily journey of 9.5 kilometers from Jerkum to Duku, the headquarters of Duku local government area in Gombe State, just to collect food for iftar. It is a struggle he faces each day, driven by love and determination to care for his family. I was once a farmer and a businessman, but as time went on, I lost everything, leaving me to rely on donors to feed my 12 family members. In this holy month of Ramadan, I have to go to Duku to get food for iftar. I usually ask a favor from tanker drivers to give me a lift, and sometimes I cannot even get one to help me get to Duku. With all this, it is hardly possible for us to get any palliatives from the government. As you can see, all I am getting is from non-governmental organizations. Galadima wishes to have a means of livelihood and help for others too. I wish I could get something to depend upon and which will help me take care of my family. Should I get a helping hand, I could do many things like businesses or farming as I used to. I am really not enjoying the current condition, and I want to be helping people too. One of the non-governmental organizations engaged in such programs expressed the urgent need to include many more individuals in the Ramadan feeding program in Duku local government area. They emphasized that there is a significant number of people are in desperate need of assistance during this time.
So now we usually have like 350, 380 iftar meals. Some people usually come, some even since morning, and we distribute the food in the evening around 5, sometimes even 5:30. But you may notice that around 10 o'clock, some people are waiting at home, waiting for the food to be prepared and be given to them. So as such, the suffering people are going through, especially during this time in this country, you find out that as we prepare the food, the number of people waiting for the food are even more than the number of the food that we are able to bring out.
The current situations appears to suggest that the recent feeding program and palliatives initiated by the state governments have had little to no effect on alleviating the hardship faced by Nigerians. A report from Global Partners and the Nigerian government indicate that a staggering 26.5 million Nigerians are projected to experience food insecurity this year, highlighting the severe state of poverty and hunger in the country. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Yes, Isaac. I think we should start with the second tidbit. Yes. People waiting since 10 a.m. to collect moselle, right, of sort, to break their fast. This is the situation in Nigeria.
I mean, it is sad, and I first of all want to commend the journalists, who took his time to do this kind of stories. These are the kind of stories we want, so that to reveal to government firsthand what the situation is in the country. This represents the situation, the level of food insecurity and hunger that is in the land. That somebody who is worshipping, who is fasting,
Ibadah, yes.
Ibadah, who is fasting, that is his religious obligation, and he had now to trek 9 kilometers, and join a queue, at about maybe 10 a.m., and have to wait for more than 6-7 hours to the time that he's going to collect this food and treks back home. How else can we be downtrodden? How else can we go down? How else can we measure the level of poverty? This is justice. And I heard also the reporter did a good job there by mentioning that the palliatives that the government has been distributing, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been distributing through his governors, have not reached the targeted people that we are talking about. We identify the very downtrodden, the indigent in our society.
Yes, I just wonder how someone will trek. Even the energy, he must have exhausted whatever he ate the previous night to get to where he will get the food to bring back.
Exactly, but because of human resistance, because of his quest to survive, and looking at his children, look at those kids behind him. He needs to feed those children. It is because of those children that he's trekking all those distance. And yet we said that we remove fuel subsidy, and with the removal of fuel subsidy, we have a lot of money now that is being distributed to state governors, and these state governors are supposed to send this palliative to these people, and yet it is not getting there. Evidently by this. It means that we need to change tactics.
If you saw the backlash we received, because we did a story here in the Daily Trust, you know, where we brought out what governors in some states budgeted in billions that they are going to feed people during Ramadan. And the back, I mean, we got commendation from Nigerians.
Yeah.
But on the other side,
yes.
it was a serious with threat
Yes.
and all that. And people are asking whether Nigerians actually require palliative or they require safe farmlands where they can go and feed themselves. When they say Nigerians, they have pride. People have the capacity,
of course,
to cultivate what they can eat.
Of course. Nigerians are not beggars. We have what we call pride, this self-respect, you know, for ourselves.
Self-esteem.
Yes, self-esteem. No Nigerian would ideally want to beg except he's put in that situation. The situation about the insecurities is what has rendered people like this man, I believe. You heard him, he said he's a farmer and a businessman.
Yes.
And he lost that. Gombe State is in the northeast, and you know that at the height of Boko Haram also hits Gombe State.
Seriously.
It's possible that this man has been chased away from his farms. He doesn't have access to his farms, and the little money he used to get to his farms to run his businesses have now fallen, have now disappeared because the government has not been able to secure
farmlands.
The farmlands, you know, for him to go and farm. So therefore, these are stories that I like to commend also Daily Trust for this, and to say that Mr. President and the people in charge, his aides, please look at this story and take it seriously, and now begin to look at the palliatives. How is it efficiently distributed? Do we now begin to include, you know, religious groups? Do we now begin, I mean, directly? Because
so that it can get to the people.
Yeah, because sometimes, Hamza, the state governors do these things frankly and innocently.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it is politicized in terms of distribution. The people who handle these things at the bottom of the ladder, at the end of the day, the officials, at the end of the day, just basically distribute it amongst their cronies or even divert it to themselves.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get down. So therefore, it means that we need to look at the structure to which we distribute this. Are we going to get groups, religious groups, you know,
community-based organizations.
Community-based organizations to distribute this thing even from the top so that it can get down.
Thank you. Now back to the topic of today, which we are going to open the line, basically. You know, the killing of security operators. And we're making reference to police, civil defense, military, customs, immigration. If you look at these statistics are actually heart-rending. Where are we getting it wrong? Why are we killing people who actually put their lives on the line to protect us?
You know, Hamza, ordinarily, I doubt it if an ordinary Nigerian, a civilian, a member of the public would just go and attack, you know, our security personnel.
Then is it aliens that come?
I said ordinarily. There must be some reasons.
Okay.
There must be some reasons for that. You know, I think honestly, the first point I would like to say is that honestly, I think Nigeria is in a state of war. Why do I say so? There are a lot of insurrections all around the country. We have a situation whereby there are people who are not just ordinary criminals now or ordinary armed robbers now. We have terrorists in our country. Terrorists, you know, we have terrorists in our country. We have terrorists in Boko Haram. We have the bandits. Those are terrorists. We have the farmer headers crisis that also have been, you know, overshadowed by terrorists. How about the ESCN in the southeast, the Eastern Security Networks?
Yes.
Those are terrorists. The IPOP, it has been proscribed as a terrorist group. The Niger Delta militants, what are they? You know, all these people are the ones that are carrying out these attacks. You know, so I'm saying that ordinary Nigerians, you know, would not put themselves, you know, in this kind of positions, you know, to begin to attack those who are supposed to protect them. Then secondly, is it that we have reduced, you know, in terms of discipline, you know, how has been the conduct of our security personnel? Do they conduct themselves professionally, especially when they find themselves in situations where they have to be involved, you know, in internal securities, such as settling community issues, you know, community problems? How do they conduct themselves? Do they take sides? Is it a judicial? Do they carry out their jobs judiciously? And how is also the judicial system, social justice? How is it given out to people? And when these security people are attacked and killed, have there been a transparent process where this thing is investigated and the culprits arrested and brought to Facebook? Or have we had a situation whereby people sneaking into communities, terrorist organizations, or stubborn, or what I call militants, you know, sneaking into situations and take advantage, you know, of little issues, you know, misunderstandings in the communities, you know, to launch out attack, you know, on our military, as we saw in the case of Zaki Biam in 2001. You know, when 17 soldiers were killed and the military went there, and at the end of the day, we had about 100 civilians, you know, were killed. Also, we had a similar case in Bayelsa,
yes,
you know, where the whole community was burnt down. Those are systems.
But then I want to interrupt you here.
Yes, yes.
You see, that time, I think in Zakibe, was it in around 2000 or thereabout?
Yeah,
it wasn't long.
Yeah, 99.
After, okay, 99.
Yes.
It wasn't long after
yes.
Obasanjo
Yes.
took over. And as a military person, he didn't take it lightly.
Yes.
Of course, the world condemned the attack. I mean, how the military,
yes,
you know, confronted the communities.
Yes, yes.
That killed those security
yes.
operatives. But some are saying it was because of that nobody made any attempts up till today along that axis to actually make any attempt to touch.
Please, let's not celebrate that.
Yeah.
Let's not celebrate that, because yeah, it could be that, okay, the military went there to show might, to show capacity, to ensure that they discipline the community and nobody repeats that. Well, that can be what you see on the ferry, but it can have a counter effect. It might reduce the level of military and citizens or people of that community. It might reduce the level of their relationship. And it will not only remain in Zaki Biam of Benue State. Other parts of the country, other communities will take it out. Is this how the military responds when they are being attacked? Will they not carry out a professional, innocent, and a transparent investigation, but rather go for revenge?
Okay, Isaac, look at what happened now in Delta. It has now been reduced to debate. Now we've seen the traditional ruler who was declared wanted by the military. Now he was comfortably seated there, now saying that he was shocked. So where is the disconnect?
Well, I mean, first of all, we have to give it to him. I believe he's the traditional ruler that has surrendered himself, right? He has availed himself, right?
Of course, he has been arrested. When he took himself, as reported, to the police, now they also asked him some questions and then finally handed him over to the military. Because maybe the military, they have their own facts, and, you know, other issues around that they feel he needs to be with them.
Yes, whatever the situation is, he has displayed, you know, an uprightness of a leader, as expected of a leader of a people.
Okay.
If he's found wanting, he has come up and has surrendered himself. Okay, this is me. I've been placed on the wanted list. What are you required me of? I've come to answer this question. So that is what that is commendable. You know. Also, the issue about the Okwama community.
Yes.
You see, what I want to say, Hamza, is that, and I want to repeat it again.
Okay.
Ordinarily, ordinary civilians in a community would not have no audacity to come up against the military.
But we don't want to see those who perpetrated this as ordinary citizens.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. I believe that. I want to believe that they are not just the ordinary people that were involved in just that ordinary communal clashes. These are, I believe, mercenaries. Are you on the same page with the Senate President?
With the Senate, I want that they are mercenaries from somewhere.
Yes, let me define myself. I come from the background of covering hostile situations, especially from Maiduguri. We saw the the killings, and we've seen how Boko Haram use ordinary communal issues, to take advantage. We've also seen it in Zangonkata, where I come from, in the southern part of Kaduna. We've also seen it in the farmers' headers clashes. These are the issues that even brought in the bandits. These are the issues. I met one of the founding members of Boko Haram.
Yes.
Yeah, when it was called Shabab, when it was just a youth militant, a youth group, an Islamic youth group called Shabab. He told me that one of the reasons that was happening was that they felt that Muslims were unfairly treated in other parts of the country, right? So what am I trying? I'm trying to establish here. I'm trying to say here that. So Mohammed Yusuf took advantage of the issues that we have, underlying issues that we have, that were not properly treated. The communal issues, the tribal issues, the interreligious issues that were not properly treated, and cashed in. And this was how he built his terrorist group.
And
so,
we are still battling with.
Yes. So I'm saying that, is there a possibility in that Delta State community that where the soldiers were attacked, that some also terrorists, do you understand? Terrorist people that took advantage of that situation to launch attack on the military? Because I don't see how ordinary civilians in a community will come out and kill and attack soldiers, even cut off their heads, cut off some of their body parts.
Okay.
It shows that there is more to that. But whoever they are, of course, it is an attack on the state of Nigeria.
As the president said.
Yes,
okay.
And we must bring them to book.
Okay, viewers, it is now the right time for you to call and give your perspectives on the issues raised through the phone number displayed on your screen. But remember to keep your comments short and avoid foul language. The topic is, why killing our security operatives? Where did we get it wrong? Over to you as we expect your call. Yes. The families of these slain soldiers, I don't want us to go back to the multiple cases, because I don't think if there is any state that we did not record this kind of attack.
Hardly.
In the whole of the 36 states, I don't think.
Yeah.
But maybe our viewers will tell us that maybe, okay, in one state, there was no an instance where security operatives were attacked by non-state actors. So you go to some places, you go around, you stay for days and all that without seeing a single security operative on the road.
Yes.
Yes. How are they doing it? Because here, you see them everywhere.
Yeah, the fact of the matter, this is what I said, that Nigeria is at war, and this is why we have a lot of, I believe that we have a lot of terrorists, all around Nigeria hiding in our forests, and we have Boko Haram, bandits,
whatever
name they are hiding in our forests, and as they are hiding in Africa, they are moving out with all kinds of weapons. And because we have not been able to bring them to book, like, let me give you an instance now.
Okay, before you give me the instance, it's like we have our first caller in the person of Paul from Ibadan, Oyo State. So let's have him. Paul, welcome to the program.
So these are the issues that we have on ground.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Paul. Yes. Let's hear you. Hello, Paul? Are you with us? Oh, we lost Paul. Okay, please try and call again. He said these are the issues. Meaning he's watching us.
Yes.
Yes, I was trying to make reference to the families. And you wanted to say something also.
Yes, what I wanted to say is that, just recently a police station was burnt, I think in one of the states, in the northwest. So, and what happened? What happened to those people? Were those people investigated? Were those people arrested? Were those people persecuted? If they have not been persecuted publicly for everybody to see, this is what emboldened the terrorists
to be doing what
they want to do.
I think it's like we have another caller from Maiduguri in the person of Babagana. Yes, Babagana, welcome to the program.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Babagana. Welcome to the program. Yes, go ahead.
Your guest.
Hello?
You see, the problem of
Okay, Babagana, can you turn down the volume of your TV set so that we can hear you properly?
Hello? Can you hear me properly?
Yes,
now?
I can hear you now. Yes, go ahead.
You see, the issue of this insecurity in this country, everybody is doing what he likes and get away. I feel like there is no law in this country. The last time the regime have mentioned the names of who are these sponsors of terrorists. Nigeria is still waiting to see who are those people. We have not seen them brought to book. So everybody is thinking that he can do whatever and get away. Nobody can do anything, either the government or the security. So we have a long way to go if we want to come over these issues in this country.
Yes.
I don't know whether if the government is listening to televisions and radios. If they can really listen, I don't know. Because all these personnel that are coming to television stations, giving their ideas in terms of economics, in terms of security. If you say you can only take in these ideas, you are able to build this country within short time.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, you are right, Baba Gana.
That's my contribution.
Thank you very much. Yes, you see, he said he wonders if those that matter even watch what we are doing or listen to it, because they are carried away with their politics and all that. Because a lot of, ideas, solution-based prescriptions by people who understand what is happening. And remember those days in Maiduguri, Isaac, police, soldiers, at the time, only soldiers were even on the street, because almost all the security operatives, others, they have actually maybe transferred or they stopped coming to the DC. We have another call line, the person of Adamu from Zaria. Yes. Adamu, welcome to the program.
Yeah, welcome. How are you?
Fine, Alhamdulillah. Welcome.
So, well done, yes. Well, I just want to remind you, of course, your visitor there.
Yeah.
What happened to the general that was killed in Plateau State? What was the action of the military men there? And what is the result of the case now that is there in Plateau? Have a nice time.
Wow. Adamu reminded us of the killing of, the general.
Yes, I mean the general who was, I think he was head of the army admin.
Admin, exactly.
Yes. I mean,
General Alkali.
Yeah, General Alkali. I mean, there are a lot of cases. You just mentioned it. There's hardly any case where states where.
And I was actually waiting whether somebody will call from the statistics of the federal system. So no, we are immune. We have never witnessed a situation where any security operative was not killed by non-state actors.
Yes, this is sad. I mean,
but Adamu was asking that look at the case of General Alkali. Up till now, it's been dragged at the court.
Yes, what has been done? This is why we said the justice situation. When people do not get justice, when people who carry out such attacks go, scot-free, it kind of embolden them, or even embolden others criminals who are around other places. We see that here, if these people can do these things and get away with it, then it means that we can get away with it. But this is something that we must stop. As the last caller suggested that, I mean, people who are in authorities, should begin to take, serious opinions.
They should even watch, listen, and read.
Yes.
I'm talking about listen to the radio, watch television, read the newspapers.
Yes. And
see the heinous crime being perpetrated against state actors.
Exactly. And some of the suggestions that some of us, are putting out to them, and begin to take it serious. One of the issues, I think, is that we must begin to break away from the status quo. We must begin to break away from treating issues like a tradition. We must begin to hear divergent ideas, and begin to put them together to address issues. I am happy particularly to say that the way the military has handled the issue in Delta State, it has gone ahead. It is different from what we saw in Zakibia.
Or in Odi.
Or in Odi. So it means that it has put out a signal that it is friendly to the people. And I assure you that people will cooperate. And maybe that is even the reason why this traditional ruler has the comfort, he has the confidence to come out and surrender himself. And you see, in that position that he is, he's going to cooperate and give sufficient information, I believe, that is going to help.
Yes. Yes. It's like we have another caller there, Abubakar from Damaturu. Welcome to the program, Abubakar.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I have the topic about why killing security personnel. This is very, very unfortunate. Why? Because these people, they spend their life, they leave their families to protect us. So why do they kill them? And this is what will tell the whole world about there is no security in the nation. Look at what happened with late General Al-Khali. He was killed, and there is no action has been taken up to now.
Yeah.
So my advice here is that is very, very clear. The government need to do something from the grassroots.
Okay.
From the grassroots, from our traditional rulers, from our communities, inclusiveness of all the people around the nation to the issue of the security.
All right.
If they do that, so I think absolutely we can get the solution to this problem.
Okay.
And the issue of poverty, it will cause the issue of insecurity. So if our youth, they have something to do, so there is nothing like insecurity.
Okay.
So the government need to take serious action about this issue of insecurity. I see no reason for these monsters to come and kill these security personnel. It's very, very unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
And there is
Thank
no
you.
action
Thank
up
you.
to now.
Thank you very much, Abubakar, for calling all the way from Damaturu and for your informed perspective on the matter. I say we should tackle the whole thing from the grassroots, Isaac, meaning that we know when we were young, if you see police abochunkowa,
yes, abochunkowa,
they are revered, but for the military, you don't even see them.
Yes.
You don't even see them because they are in the barracks.
Yes, and that is another serious point, important point that you have just brought up. We need to ask ourselves this question. Have we used our military personnel professionally? Have we applied them to the jobs that they are responsible for? Is the military supposed to go and solve communal crisis?
And I think it is because of the existential problem.
Yes.
That is why almost every other place that you go,
yes,
you see that military,
yes,
they are called upon,
yes,
to settle.
Yes.
Maybe police overwhelmed.
Yes.
Civil defense overwhelmed.
Yes.
Customs overwhelmed.
Yes. Yes.
What have you? And we have quite a number of security structures in the country.
Yes. This is why I said that Nigeria is at war. That's the fact of the matter, and since we have all these insurgents all around, all these terrorists all around our country, this is why they also move around with all these ammunitions. This is why you see all these kinds of attack, and this is why we would not be surprised to see. This is why I tried to go to the line of the Senate President, that it's possible that these are hired mercenaries who came in and took advantage of this situation, to attack the military. You have also heard that there are...
But if the ones, Isaac, I don't want to disagree with you, but if the ones in Delta are mercenaries, what about the ones who kill soldiers in Niger State?
Who killed soldiers in, yes, in Niger State? Okay, so the question that we will ask, have they been arrested and have they been profiled and have they been identified, to say that they are just ordinary citizens, ordinary petty criminals or armed robbers? Is Niger State not a hotbed for terrorism?
And this is center. Niger is in the center.
Yes. Is Niger State not a hotbed for terrorism?
And some people are also raising questions.
Yes.
When you look at not to actually protect anyone, when you look at the number of people, the number of people that the military release, a professor and all that. Yes, but of course we have a caller from Bayelsa State in person of Benedict. Welcome to the program, Benedict.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Yes, raise your voice, reduce the volume of your TV set, and let's hear you.
All right. right, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Very well. Okay, go ahead.
All right. It's quite unfortunate. Honest, quite unfortunate. But if we can far back, during the military era, we don't have such situation in this country.
Okay.
Because during military era, we don't have such situation. You know, in the military government, you can't just see a civilian just wake up and go and kill a military personnel. It does not happen during military era. So I think with the coming of democracy, we begin to experience this. To tell you that all the lapses that we have in this country, it's democracy that brought all these lapses. In military era, you can't just get over and kill a military personnel.
But Benedict, you know that all over the world, democracy is the norm. I mean, you have different forms of democracy, but no one believes that it is only when you have the military that you will secure your environment.
Yes, it was during this democracy that we have today. People begin to experience attack upon attack on the military personnel.
Okay.
Yes, if you track it from the top to death, during military government, there is no such attack on military personnel like that.
Okay, now if you are asked, Benedict, if you are asked to give a suggestion as to how we can immune our military, how we can protect our police, our civil defense, our immigration, customs, and what have you, what will you advise?
My advice is for the government to give full support on the security personnel.
Okay.
Full support to them.
Full support, okay.
Engage all communities. Wherever a military personnel has been posted to, they have to work with the community, hands to hands, so that they can't just post you in a community whereby you know where about. Because these are some of the issues that most military personnel normally get challenged.
All right.
When they posted in a community, you have to have people that, like traditional rulers, they are the mouthpiece of the government from that community.
Yes.
Anything goes on, they know who is coming in and who is going out.
Yes. All right.
So when you look at it on that perspective, security personnel need to work with the traditional rulers.
Okay.
That's my take.
Thank you very much, Benedict, for calling all the way from Bayelsa State. Yes, it's like these days, the clamor for restoration of the constitutional role of traditional rulers is actually gathering momentum.
It is gathering momentum because the fact of the matter is that we Africans, respect their traditions, and the traditional rulers are still very revered and very much well respected, so if we can give them, recognize them in terms of power, it is definitely going to help. And this is why even our call, for the revitalization of the forest guard has also recognized the role of the traditional rulers, in it to serve as the advisory role in the terms of recruitment and how the forest guard will work in this forest. So it is very important that the present administration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whom we know when he was governor of Lagos State, his government recognized the role of the traditional leadership in Lagos. And this was why they were able to secure the whole of Lagos and give it the proper governance. So we are
should replicate it.
Should replicate that on the national level, get the traditional rulers together so that they can come in very well and help him, not only in terms of security, but also to govern the country. In terms of the palliatives, please, let me just go back quickly. Yes. Also, the Traditional Institute can do a lot in ensuring that palliatives get
because
to the
security and poverty they go hand in hand.
Of course.
Okay, now, what about the families of these people? The chief of defense staff, during the burial of these people, he said 3 of the women they are pregnant, and then in all, about more than 20 orphans now have been added to the long list of orphans created by the killing of security operatives in Nigeria. What kind of package do you think, and I hope that callers will also contribute to this, what kind of package should be there for actually the widows and then the children left behind by these fallen heroes? Up to now, in January, we see, soldiers even pleading that they should be paid their pension and all that to feed.
I think, first of all, what should be done to appease these grieving families is that they need to get justice.
Okay, meaning that the perpetrators should be brought.
The perpetrators must be brought to book, so that these people will know that their fathers did not just
It's like the first caller we lost earlier, Paul from Ibadan. He was able to get us once again. Yes, Paul, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you for having me, sir.
Yes, go ahead, Paul. Yes.
Yeah, the issue of the security.
Yes.
Number one, during the campaign,
yes,
these so-called politicians give different people uniform and arms and ammunition. If they are doing campaign, look them visibly very well. Not all the police or army that they are using that are. So this calls for questioning during their campaigns. And after the campaign, as they retrieve those guns back, those are the people that normally perpetrate evil. And they are the ones that they will use to kill this.
Paul, are you sure? Are you sure that the arms and ammunition given to them during campaigns are retrieved? I think it's an allegation.
No, we have so much take military personnel during the campaign.
Okay.
You can quote me right or wrong, but I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
These people bring in thugs and every other thing, give them arms, and when they most of the time when they are doing campaign, you see that they will always cover up their security personnel. You cannot even identify who is a real army and who is a fake one. They use different kinds of masks during the campaign. And after the campaign, did they retrieve these guns back? No. They are the ones that become challenge to the security. Because even though sometimes when they go to some community, they will not know whether these people are genuine army or they are fake ones. Communities of Niger Delta, a lot of fake armies are in Niger Delta, sir. Many people just put on military uniform and they say they will come and say they are security personnel. How will they identify them? How do they know that these are the true people? So the security apparatus generally need to be checked. Let's look at the military brigade. Look at every community now. You have this one called security apparatus with gun. Nigerian, different security apparatus.
The quasi-security.
Who give them guns? How did they manage those guns? What are they using those guns for? And they threaten everybody in the community. So those are the issues that we have about security challenges in this country. Right. Those people at the aim of our case to step all these apparatus, these paramilitary apparatus, what they call the DGN, the so-called Amoteco, and Amoteco is a registered of them. Yeah. The other UR group and other militant group that they use, and police and the security personnel, all these people. They were just carrying going up and down, threatening people up and down in the society. So these are the areas that we are challenging security problems. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Paul, for actually persevering to call again and share your thoughts on the problem. He's saying, everyone just getting arms and ammunition, and that is what is giving some people the confidence to actually confront security operatives that are kitted to protect the country. Yes.
Yeah. So let me just quickly add to the issues about the parents that you talk about, these families that were lost. Yes. So if Nigeria needs to make sure that the perpetrators of this evil act
and many others
are brought to book, and are made to face the law, so that everybody can know that yes, you cannot just do anything, kill anybody, especially personal security personnel, and go scot-free, as we have in this case. Then secondly, I remember that I went to school, my university days, I had a schoolmate who was under the scholarship of the Nigerian military.
Okay.
I think he had that scholarship even to 400 level. I think his father died.
He lost his father.
Yes, he lost his father as a colonel. So what I want to say is this: I think some kind of scholarship should be given to some of these children in terms
genuine
of
scholarship.
Genuine scholarship. That we see them throughout their education, maybe to tertiary institution, and at that level they are good. That kind of support, would definitely support the families, the widows, if they don't have jobs, if they could be given.
And they really have, because most of them are actually petty traders. But there is this problem that we've been having, where you see immediately the breadwinner dies, then they will be asked to leave the barrack.
Hey.
But before you said, okay, it's like we have your namesake from Kwara State. Yes, Isaac. Welcome to the program, Isaac. Hello. Yes, welcome.
Thank you. I just want to salute your guest in the studio.
Okay.
I think he has done justice to some of the questions.
Okay, then congratulations, Isaac. Yes.
The anchor also.
All right.
But I think what we need to do is that I think we need to be proactive in all our things. Most especially when this issue, some of this issue came up.
Yes.
We should not politicize all these things. Those who kill the military personnel, at the end of the day, you will not hear anything about the issue again. And Nigerians are worried about those things. We should follow. Nigerians are following this trend. But at the end of the day, we will not be able to see any reasonable judgment on this issue. Somebody has raised this issue, but he has made mention something has happened in the past. But at the end of the day, we don't see any reasonable judgment on this. So this also help these people to be doing evil sometimes. So I think we should look at that area. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Isaac, the namesake of the Isaac here in the studio, for your informed perspective. We thank you, and we hope to hear from you some other time. And he's our last caller, actually, because we are rounding up. We have less than 2 minutes. So I want you to now also round up, especially on how to take care of these widows. And they are in thousands now.
Yes.
Because if you take figures, across board.
Yes, of course. I mean, when you say in thousands, it reminded me of those ones while we were covering the insurgency in Maiduguri and the Northeast. A lot of soldiers, families lost their husbands to the war. And as such, of course, maybe the military needs to look at, for the ones that are into petty jobs, set up a small scale, medium enterprise for them, to support them, to train them, and empower them, to go into trade. For those who are agrarians, they could be set up in terms of all these schemes, these agricultural schemes that are coming up. Maybe the military, the defense headquarters would like to forward the names of some of these women who are in the farming, so that they can be taken care of. It is important for these women, for these families to be taken care of, so that they can serve as a motivation, to the troops who are currently serving.
Finally, this should be in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yes. Who should do what? The society. How should they approach our security operatives? And then the security operatives, what should they do to earn the respect and the buy-in of the society?
I will start with the security.
Okay, and you should all do all this in less than 1 minute.
Because the security are trained.
Okay.
And as such, they are professionals, so they must try to conduct themselves within the standard way that they are expected. Okay. And if they do that, they would earn respect, from the communities. And also, I like to speak about the politicians. The politicians must also avoid situations whereby we use our security people in a way that brings disrespect for them.
Yeah.
We have had situations where soldiers are involved in elections, and you hear all these kind of stories. People are not happy with their performance and all of that. This brings resentment in the society. Okay. So we must try and shift our military, especially the soldiers, and away from this election period, so that they don't have this kind of. You heard what the caller said from Ibadan.
Finally.
So please, this is what I'm saying, and also to the community leaders, particularly. Finally, we must make sure that when people are deployed to come to our community to help protect us, we must cooperate with them and give them the required information, the required cooperation that will help them to do their jobs.
Thank you very much, Isaac Abrak, hostile environment journalist.
Thank you,
for your informed perspective and for helping me anchor this program today. We hope to have you some other time.
Thank you very much.
Viewers, that's a wrap on today's package. We hope you found the conversation engaging and informative. And be sure to join Daily Politics here in every weekday and our special package on Friday, during which we open the telephone line for you to comment on national issues as we did today. Remain blessed. Bye-bye for now. See you next week for more interesting editions of Daily Politics. I'm Hamza Idris. Good night.